Well, welcome to the show today, everybody. Billy, how you doing today, my friend?
Man, episode 5. I'm doing good, brother. How you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great.
Yeah.
Really excited for our topic today and everything that comes with it. But we'll get into that here in a little bit. What's going on for our schedule coming up on the holidays? I know things are going to be a little bit different.
Yeah, well, we're going to have some amazing Christmas-themed episodes coming out in December. But then on December 26th and January 2nd, we're going to do some special little pre-recorded mini-sodes that
Okay.
we're going to put out there. And then we'll be back with a full episode on January 9th to kick off the new year.
Yeah, I'm excited
Yes,
about
sir.
that.
I am too,
And I
man.
just have to say, I want to say to all of our followers, listeners so far, thank you. Thank you very
Yes.
much. We've beat our downloads every week from the week before, and we're really excited about that. And we really appreciate you guys' support. But we still need more support. So share it with your friends or family. Just grab them, say, check this out, listen to it. Even if you don't want to do like the first episode and you want to listen to a funny one that you thought was funny, have them do that one. Totally fine.
Yeah. Yeah, just let us know what you think too, because oh my goodness, when we see these comments, that makes our day. That legitimately makes our day. Like, oh my gosh, they love this part of the show, and oh man, it just makes me feel good. Don't you want me to feel good?
You want Billy to feel good. He has a hard time finding any love in his life, so this is all he's got. So please, even if it's just for Billy. And we got the great comment from our podcast last week when Billy did his last story. I'm not going to talk about it if you haven't seen it, listen to it, but the person laughed so hard that their husband was concerned about their well-being, and that says a lot for us.
Yep, like I said, making husbands nervous. Oh wait,
since 19, yeah. That's our goal for this podcast, is just to make your husband or wife totally nervous about life. I gotta say, Billy, I like that trimmed up beard look you got going on today.
Hey, thank you.
Yeah,
just trying to get it. It's one of those days that's not going as crazy to the side. You know what I mean? It's just like my beard grows, horizontally. It's crazy.
Yes,
my wife makes fun of me all the time. I'm just glad. I don't have like when we had to wear mask. Just don't have that like the beard mask, like just where it just was. You take off your mask and it's all like just is nasty. I'm
lucky that my beard is never ever that long. It's very short, so I didn't have to deal with any of the soggy beard situations. So.
Soggy beard's the worst.
Soggy beard is the worst. Ask anybody.
That's right.
Next T-shirt idea.
The soggy beard club.
God, that sounds bad.
It sounds terrible. Sorry.
Somehow we always, with this intro, go sideways with our meanings on things.
I mean,
always.
But that's what makes it great, huh?
That's right. That's right. Well, I think we've put ourselves in a hole long enough. Well, there ain't nothing to it but to do it. Are you ready, my friend?
You better believe it. Let's get into all the everything, y'all.
All the everything, we've got it all. We've got it all, small, weird, or tall. So grab your snacks, sit back, don't stress. Cause Tim and Billy talk about the randomness. From ancient Rome to UFOs, we'll take you where the weirdness goes. It's two guys talking way too loud about stuff that makes no sense, but we're kinda proud.
Well, welcome to the podcast, guys. Welcome back to another amazing episode of All the Everything podcast. As always, I'm one of your hosts, Tim Sawhook, and I'm joined by my friend, the good-looking guy, the guy who's got it all, best stories, everything in the world, Billy Parchment.
Hey, Tim, thank you for that beautiful introduction.
When I look at you, I just see poetry, and it just falls right out of my heart into my mouth. Well, that doesn't sound right either. But it's all love, my friend. It's all love.
Thank you. Thank you. I will receive that love and and right back at you, my friend.
All right. Thank you, my friend. That's all the podcast is going to be today, is just these few moments of awkward congratulations to each other on being nice. Well, not necessarily. We actually do have a real episode for you today.
Yeah.
And today is one that we've been looking forward to because that time of year. Billy, we're talking about
Thanksgiving, y'all. We're going to bring it back to 1621, y'all.
Do you think they had DJ horns back in the day?
They had were they Capricorns? Maybe you just cut the end off one of those. You know, you don't.
You think maybe they just spanked a goat and it was like or something?
They spanked goats. I don't know. They might have. I don't know.
Well, you know, times get desperate. You know, you have to do what you have to do.
That's what you're into. What's going on?
So if you're just listening on audio and you wanted to see the visual of me spanking a goat, come to YouTube and check that out. That's just for you.
Yeah.
No, but let's get on track here. We're talking about all things Thanksgiving.
All things Thanksgiving.
It encompasses so much. Billy, I am super pumped for Thanksgiving. What about you?
I am too. Oh, I'm looking forward to some good old food, some grub.
Food, and then food comas.
That's right.
And then bouncing back and then eating more food. It's all about the food. Yeah. Oh, the leftovers. And so we host Thanksgiving, not every year, but we're hosting again this year. And Leslie was buying the turkey. And she's like, I got this turkey. It's like 15 pounds. And it's just my family, the four of us plus her parents. So it was only 6 of us. I was like, you know what? Let's get the 20-pounder. I was like, we all like leftovers, and I know you're going to send leftovers with your parents home, which is, you know, customary. So, but we got to have extra for us. So we have a 20-pound turkey for 6 people.
Yeah, we got to have those turkey sandwiches on the day after with that mayonnaise.
Man. Oh yeah,
those are the best. That's the best.
Now, do you do like normal white bread, or do you toast the bread, or any technique to that?
Well, for me, I like it on just cold white bread with mayonnaise, salt and pepper. That's and then the leftover shredded turkey. That's just I don't know if it's nostalgia or what, but that's what I love. But
that's exactly
That's nostalgia no hate for a toasted sandwich, because the toasted sandwich is nice as well. But when the leftover turkey Thanksgiving Day sandwich, that's what I think of.
No, it's nostalgia for me the same way. That's why my mom used to make them like after Thanksgiving. She'd like make a sandwich for you, and it was always white bread, cold turkey, mayonnaise, and salt and pepper. Classic.
Yeah.
Classic.
Easy peasy.
But we don't want to get too far into this already, because we've got a lot of things to talk about.
That's right.
So let's just get right into it. Our first topic today is everything that Billy and I said we love, and that's about the food.
Beans, greens, potatoes, tomatoes, greens, beans. Let's go!
I love that song so much.
I did too. So good.
It's pretty much my mom. My mom's always trying to like pawn off food on everybody. Like that was her like song when we first saw that. That made me laugh quite a bit.
It's the best.
So for food, we're going to talk about 2 different things: things that we love and things that we do not love so much that maybe you guys love. Yeah. I know I have a list of that, but let's start with the positive, right? Let's talk about the things we love. So what is your number one thing you look forward to for food on Thanksgiving?
For me, it's the star of the show, man. It's that turkey. Like, it's the star of the show.
Yeah.
And I'm a minority in my family with that. So
really? Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. But man, it's probably more so just the thought of the leftover turkey.
Yeah, I know it's never like being in the moment, right? You're thinking I can eat this tomorrow, and you're still excited about it.
I think with Thanksgiving, it is so crazy jam packed. There's so many people; it's overstimulating, and you don't really have a chance to kind of just calm down before you eat. It's always like cooking. There's people everywhere. And then you all come together and eat. And then it's like, you're not like, you didn't get settled. But like with Thanksgiving leftovers, you've had that time to kind of settle down.
Yeah.
You can just enjoy it. You can just heat up what you want. And this says a lot. I don't eat leftovers.
Like, no, neither do I.
Michelle, it drives Michelle absolutely crazy. Like, I'll make a big thing of chili. Like, I'll be like, I really want some chili. I love chili.
Yeah.
I'll eat it for that meal. and then she's eating chili for the next week because she doesn't like. I'm the worst with that, but hey, she knew that before she married me.
Yeah, that's true. Well, it's funny you say that because I am the exact same way with leftovers. I just don't eat them. I know people love leftovers. I just like once I'm there, I'm done. And guess what? Last night I made a huge crock pot full of chili. I had enough to feed like 10 people, and we had Luke come over and he had some. And then I was like, yeah, just throw it away. I'm not gonna eat any more of this. I really there's no way I'm eating this.
No, she'll end up eating it for the rest of the week because she doesn't like, she's not going to waste it, and so she's great. She loves leftovers, but I love Thanksgiving leftovers. I will eat that for the week afterwards.
I think I eat leftovers too. I think it's like you still pull in some of the nostalgia from the day before, right? It's kind of like you had this magical time with everyone around with the food, but when you eat the leftovers, you almost get a little bit of that magic in your mouth.
Yeah. She said, "What?" Sorry.
So let's talk about turkey for a second. Turkey is also my number one thing. I'm a meat guy. I got to have some good meat. So, but here's the way I need to ask this question. It's very important. Do you bake it in the oven? Do you deep fry it? Or have you ever had one on a smoker before?
I have had deep fried. We've had smoked turkey.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We have oven roasted. Now, for me, like I said, I'm the only one that really likes turkey. Like Michelle eats turkey too. For me, what I do, because we're not going to buy a big bird, just for me. Like I almost was going to buy this year. I was going to buy one of the viral Popeye chicken Cajun turkeys, but then I was like, I really want to try it. It's already like pre-cooked. All you have to do is you have to kind of heat it up for a bit in the oven and stuff. And so, I bought a meat thermometer that kind of plugs in and, so I was going to do that, but then I was like, it's $100 and I don't want to spend $100 on something that I'm just going to, eat. Cause
that's $100 for that thing.
$100 for that thing. Yeah. And so my girls eat ham. Like we get a honey baked ham as well. And so that's like their main protein source, and that's what they like. My oldest is so picky. Like she's like the pickiest eater. Lily, my youngest, will eat anything you give her, but they like ham. And so what I do is my dad had this amazing turkey breast crock pot recipe.
All right. So you said your dad made some kind of turkey in a crock pot, which sounds really kind of weird to me, but I need to hear more about it.
Okay. So it's awesome. So you buy this turkey breast, just a little frozen turkey breast. It's like a couple pounds. What I like to do is I rub it in that Irish butter, like the herb.
I love the Irish butter. Yes.
Yeah. Herb butter. I just rub that all over it, getting all the nooks and crannies. Put that in the crock pot. I chop up some carrots, some onions, throw that in there, fill it up. Oh, you got to put the seasoning on there. Put your favorite poultry seasoning and salt, pepper. Fill that up with chicken stock and just set that thing on 8 hours. And it is like the juiciest, and it's not like it makes enough for me, Michelle, and then leftovers. It's perfect.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Love it.
I'm gonna have to make a note of this. Something we can do like non-traditional Thanksgiving time of the year, and just
and it's great, and it's special because it was from my dad, And so and just like that's what we've made. So unless we have a ton of people coming over, we don't do the big thing because it's usually.
Oh, wait a minute. You're telling me you do this on normal Thanksgiving?
Yeah, this is what I do because we have the honey baked ham that the girls will eat. That's their main protein. This is just for me because I got to have turkey on Thanksgiving.
Absolutely.
Michelle could go either way. So
one of the big things about having turkey, which I love, and about hosting is you have to at some point in your life learn how to carve a turkey.
Oh, yeah.
I remember the first time that I was like put in charge of doing the turkey, and I was like, where do I do the cutting? And so a lot of times it was Leslie's dad who has done it for years when we had Thanksgiving with them, and I've kind of learned watching him do it. But I mean, it is quite the journey of learning how to
that's nerve-wracking.
debone it. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
And so for turkeys, I've never had a deep fried one. I've never been around. I've heard they're so good.
Right. Yeah, if they're done right.
I've heard so many people say how good they are. I just don't have a deep fryer for that thing. But for a couple of years in a row, I did smoke a turkey, and it was complete overkill. But first of all, it was delicious. Let's just get that out of the way. You know, I'm not going to make some crappy smoked meats. It's going to be good. But it came to be overkill because Leslie also baked an entire huge turkey inside in the oven.
Oh, you had both. Oh my goodness.
So we had like dueling turkeys, and I noticed that not many people were eating the smoked turkey except for me. I mean, my son did a little bit, but the traditional is just a little bit better. But I had to prove to myself, you know, I could smoke a turkey.
I could smoke a turkey. Yeah,
I could smoke a turkey, and I did. I smoked that turkey.
Yeah, good, man. Gosh, I'm telling you, like, yeah, we did Thanksgiving for a few years at Disney. Don't have to worry about cooking and dishes, you know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and so we would go, like, one year we'll go to Garden Grill, the next we'll go to the Liberty Tree. So we did that for a few years, which was super nice.
Does Garden Grill have a good Thanksgiving?
They do. Well, you know, they serve turkey every day. Turkey, mashed potatoes, gravy, mac and cheese, and they'll have some kind of vegetables, and sometimes they'll do steak with a chimichurri and stuff like that.
Oh.
And so it's like the perfect Thanksgiving day. They took it away for a while, but they brought it back for Thanksgiving, and now it's back permanently on the menu. There was a turkey shortage for a few years, and so they took it away.
Those turkey shortages, they'll get you every time. Is it better than Liberty Tree?
It's about food quality. I think it's about the same. Both were delicious, but with Garden Grill, you get to hang out with Mickey. So
yeah, that's true.
You know, and the girls love it. But both were fantastic. So we were happy.
Liberty Tree, you have to hang out with your family. So
yeah,
Mickey or your family. I get that. Big choice. But we still got a lot more food to talk about. So turkeys are it's the main show for both of us, right?
That's the main deal.
And so for me, the next thing on my list is always mashed potatoes and gravy.
Oh, come on now.
You've got to have a big old serving of mashed potatoes.
So good.
And you got to make your little gravy bowl hole so you can dump your gravy in. And it spills all over the plate. Some people don't like that, but I'm here for it all.
You have to mix. And if you're not, you're just doing it wrong. Unless you have a sensory thing.
And you're still doing it wrong. Is there anything special about your mashed potatoes gravy at all? Or is it just traditional?
Traditional. Just go straight up. Like I said, we have picky eaters. Michelle's mom, she is the pickiest person that I've met, but she loves mashed potatoes and she loves gravy. She does bring her own little certain gravy. Not that we're picky or anything, but she has her particular one that she likes, and that's what we use.
Okay. Well, then it comes down next in my book, and I want to hear about for you is the stuffing.
Okay.
Or the people call it the dressing, you know, different things.
Right.
There's different ways of doing it. I grew up in a family where my mom, I can't say what the technique was, but it was really bread heavy, and my siblings loved it. I really did not like it that much. I'm an outcast. I mean, so I didn't eat a lot of it. But once I started eating the dressing or whatever that Leslie's mom made, then I fell in love with the stuffing or dressing or whatever you call it. Because it's more cooked inside the bird instead of like, it's got all the flavors and everything. And so now I'm hooked on that stuff. I gotta have it. But no shame to my mom. Love her. Great cook. But I just don't like your stuffing, and I'm sorry. I apologize. What about you?
Growing up, my grandpa did a lot of the cooking for Thanksgiving. And my grandma too. But my grandpa would wake up early and just be cooking all day, and then he would never eat with everybody. He just would cook. Yeah, that's just how he was. And
he's a good guy.
Oh yeah, the best. And so the dressing was always fantastic growing up. When I start doing Thanksgiving with Michelle's side of the family, her mom has a certain recipe that she likes, and then she would make half with celery and half without celery, and hers is really good. as well, because there's a lot of folks that don't like celery. I used to not like celery. I hated celery. Like if you were to ask me one of the foods that I absolutely hate would have been celery. Like I don't want it in my food, which is crazy because I'm part Cajun, and that's part of the the Cajun Trinity. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Is celery, and so. But for some reason this year, I don't know if like when you start losing your up close vision at a certain age, you just you develop new powers. I guess I'm developing the power that I actually really like celery. Like give me like I snacked on celery the other night with just ranch. Like just
that's my question.
Yes.
Did you once all of a sudden discover ranch and that's why you like celery? Because they just kind of go
like
they're like hand in hand there.
Yeah, like give me some buffalo wings. I would always just throw away the celery. Now I'm ordering buffalo wings and like I'm just eating straight up. Yeah. Just I mean, I can eat it without. It's weird. Like my mom used to make ants on the log, where you take the celery and put peanut butter and raisins on there.
Right.
The worst snack ever. And I was like, you know what? I should try that again now that I'm actually digging celery for some weird, strange reason. It's beyond me, but yeah.
Well, little do you know, we have some being delivered to your house right now.
Awesome.
Come on in, everybody, with the celery.
Celery.
Bring that peanut butter and raisins.
It's a celery party.
It's a celery. Yeah, that sounds weird too.
So
it's a celery party. I don't know. Maybe it's not weird. All right, moving along here. Then there's things start to split a little bit from there because now you get to some different kind of casseroles and sides and things, and those get a little different for people. One of the big things that my family loves is green bean casserole.
Okay, yeah.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Absolutely. Okay.
I think that is the most disgusting thing I've ever eaten in my life. I cannot eat it. I think it looks gross. Just the green and the gravy and the whatever is in there. But that is a traditional one that is loved around here. What about you? What do you say about green bean casserole?
Yeah, I'm indifferent to green bean casserole. Like, trying to think, I don't remember with our group now, like with her side of the family, our main vegetable that we usually do that everybody loves is lima beans.
Wait, what?
Lima beans. Yeah, that's been a new. Yeah, we never did lima beans growing up, but she'll take some of that honey baked ham and she'll cook them for like all day long. Like Michelle's mom, they're delicious. Get that ham flavor and stuff, and it just, it goes so good. Like we never had lima beans growing up, but yeah, we did green bean casserole, and so. Yeah, I'm indifferent. I like the fried onions is what they usually top it with. Like
what's that brand called? It's like the crunchy French's. I think it's French's.
Yes, yeah,
crunchy whatever's.
We had that. Yeah, it's. I don't hate green beans. They're not my favorite. The green bean casserole it's okay. It's all right. Yeah. I will eat it. I'll be happy. I won't complain.
Well, there's always that, and there's always like a big thing of buttered corn. Basically, just corn in a crock pot or something like that goes out. And then one of my favorites also we got to talk about is the rolls. The rolls for Thanksgiving.
Yep. Now, gotta have those rolls.
Now, some people do them different. Some people do crescent rolls, right? You know, and some people do like Bob Evans rolls, like the big yeast type rolls, things like that. Do you have any preference when it comes to rolls or biscuits or whatever on Thanksgiving?
You know what I've been rolling with the last few years that have been amazing, and then fantastic too with if I'm tired of just the white bread sandwiches on leftovers, get Hawaiian rolls.
Yes, that's what we do.
Hawaiian rolls, they're fantastic. Like
the best.
Like, oh, so good. Like I probably I gotta remember to go get some actually.
You better hope there's some left at this point.
I know, right? That's the timing of this is so bad because everybody makes a run on it, but you don't want to get certain things like the rolls too early, especially like if they're fresh, they're not frozen. I have to get like the poultry herbs, that's another thing I put in my turkey. I just put they sell the herb pack,
right?
It's just the fresh thyme and all this rosemary and all that stuff, and it's throw that in that crock pot with the turkey as well.
Yeah.
So I gotta get that, but you have to time it to where you can get it, but it's still good when you cook it.
Right.
I already got the turkey because that's frozen, so that I was like, that's gonna be fine. So,
well, you know, we got it. We got a big 20-pounder out there. So
yeah,
if you want to fly on up to Cincinnati and hang out for a weekend, Billy, you and I can just eat a lot of turkey.
that sounds great. It sounds like
That-
y'all are gonna have some. And I got my little tiny Tim little turkey breast over here, and y'all got the big old bird. Scrooge came to y'all's house with a new heart, a new purpose
with
of Christmas,
a new heart and a new turkey,
yeah.
and we're so thankful. Then let's think. What other sides are we missing here that you
Sweet
maybe
potato
have at you?
casserole. Sweet potato
Yes.
casserole. We're gonna make. Michelle has like this like marshmallowy one. She's gonna try a new recipe this year because we
Okay.
never really had a set. She's like, I don't even think she really loves sweet potatoes, and so that's not normally on the thing. But she's like, I really want one this year, and I want like one of the
Okay.
marshmallowy kind. So
Mm-hmm.
it's on my phone. She was on my phone the other day, and she was like, I've saved some screenshots, so don't delete those. It's for my recipe I'm making. So we're gonna have some
Okay.
sweet potato casserole this year. It's gonna be good.
It is really good. That's one of my faves too. Not a lot of people love it, and I think it's
Mhm.
kind of underrated. Maybe not
Mhm.
super underrated, but I think it's also kind of geographically where you live. If you have
Yeah.
sweet potato like casserole or pie or anything like that.
Mhm.
Yeah, so that's a good one. And trying to think, there was one. The big thing that's always weird to me, and I never eat it, is the cranberry sauce.
Cranberry sauce, that's another one of those weird things. Like I hated
Ye-
cranberry sauce growing up.
Yeah,
And I'm still not like, oh, I gotta have cranberry sauce with it. But like the last couple
right.
of years, I've been like, hey, it's not terrible. You know, it's
Yeah,
I will have a little bit. It's very tart. It's a
it is.
tart.
It's kind of like you were saying when you were saying about her trying a new recipe this year.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of get upset when people try to do new recipes. I always like play the hits, man.
Yeah.
You've been making this turkey for like 50 years like this. Don't say you saw something in a magazine and now you're going to try something new.
Not at
You
the
don't
big
try
show.
new things. Not on the
Not
big
at the
day
big,
of the big show.
not on the big show. Yes. with that for her though, that's mainly she's like, shoot, that's gonna be mine. You know.
Yeah.
So it's not like, oh, and I'm gonna have some too. So I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
That one I won't be offended.
Oh yeah, totally. But I don't know. I get weirded out when people try to try new
No, but
things on
that's true. Like
Thanksgiving.
when you
It's
are,
play the
can I
hits,
tell you,
man.
like one of my worst Thanksgivings ever. So my parents got divorced when I was like 7 years old, and so
Mm-hmm.
one of the worst Thanksgivings ever was, we would normally have Thanksgiving like at my mom's house, and then
Mm-hmm.
later we would have it with my dad. But my
Yeah.
grandparents were coming down, and so like this year we're just gonna eat. They're gonna bring the food down with them, and so I'm expecting them to come home and have like all this food that we're going to be prepared. Like a new
Oh yeah.
Thanksgiving. My family had their Thanksgiving like normal, and we get there, and I'm telling you what, they had ate everything in the car on the way down. Like they had already cooked it, and it was like, and there was like they were like, yeah. Apparently they got their wires crossed, and so that year there was no Thanksgiving, no food.
What you're telling me they ate the entire meal on the way
They
there?
ate. There was just a little bit of turkey left over for a little sandwich, but like I missed my meal with my mom's side. Like they had it, they were literally doing it, and I could have just
What
ate
the
there.
heck?
And then I know I was so upset. But yeah,
Because that probably means that you didn't go all in on the first meal, then, right? Because you're like,
oh
I'm
no, I
gonna
didn't
get
even
more
have a
food
first
later.
meal. That was the one year for some reason. Like Dad's like, oh, I'm gonna get them early. My parents are coming down.
Oh,
We're
okay.
gonna do Thanksgiving with them. They're bringing the food, and
No
they
Thanksgiving.
arrive. Yeah, they arrive, and oh, we ate it in the car on the way down, and so
Who does that?
yeah, no Thanksgiving for
Oh,
me that
I'm so
year.
sorry to hear that. Oh, wow.
Yeah, I was super. I mean, that was when I was like 8 or 9 years old, and so like, yeah,
That's a bad
self.
memory. I
Yeah,
can
that
see it all
is.
over your face right now.
I'm really upset about it. Thinking.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's take a moment of silence for Billy. Okay, that's over.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay, moving
Let's
on.
talk desserts.
Yeah, desserts. Come on now with it.
Leslie and Lauren are always the bakers, and they're doing all the cooking, which is weird for me because usually I'm the guy, like when people come over, I'm usually making everything, grilling everything,
Yep.
doing like smoking all the stuff. So it's weird for me on Thanksgiving not to be in there doing it, but Leslie doesn't want me anywhere near the kitchen because that's her jam. But we do a lot of pies. So Leslie has this recipe. I don't know where she got it from, but it's caramel pecan pie. and it is.
Ooh.
Oh man, it is my favorite pie of all time. Absolutely delicious.
Sounds
So
amazing.
we have that. Then we always do like they'll always make a fresh like apple Dutch pie. Am I saying that right? Or Dutch apple pie?
Yep.
So there's that, and then there's always a pumpkin pie.
Oh yeah.
Not everyone's a big fan of the pumpkin pie, but we have enough people in the family. I mean, any pie that you can just bury in like Cool Whip or whipped cream.
Yes.
And
yes.
You can't lose with that, right?
Right.
And then doing some honorable mention stuff. Some people will bring cookies or a pumpkin roll or stuff like that. But
pumpkin rolls are good. Yeah.
The pumpkin rolls are really good. But for me, like it's all about the pies. All about the pies.
That's
what
how
about you?
Yeah, pies that's where it was at when we were growing up. We had 3 main pies. We would do the pumpkin pie. That was the main one. Chocolate pie, because I absolutely love chocolate. Like that was one of my stars. And then my grandma would always make lemon meringue pies.
Oh, okay.
And those things were, I mean, that was like thinking of Thanksgiving, like from my childhood. Lemon meringue pies is what I remember.
Oh,
and
okay.
So it's like a special thing. I don't know if anybody else does lemon meringue pies on Thanksgiving, but for us, just it's a wonderful memory. So
I'm not a big fan. I take that back. I am a fan of lemon meringue pie, but we don't ever usually have them on Thanksgiving. Is what I was trying to say.
Right. And so it's each family for us here now we just do pumpkin pie. Is what we've been.
Oh, okay.
With. Yeah. So
only one pie.
There's
Oh,
one
Billy.
pie. Well, there's only 5 of us. Got my 4, and then her mom comes down, and so
I don't care if it was just one person. You have at least 3 pies. That is a Thanksgiving rule. You can tell your wife I said that. Just wait till I'm not around, then tell her.
You tell her.
No, you tell her. His wife is actually not that scary. She's very
nice. She's not at all.
Not at all. She's great. Any other dessert?
She might make fun of you, but
she'll definitely make fun of you. At least she does me anyhow. Any other desserts that we missed that you have, or
this would go on one of the foods that I hate as well.
Yeah.
But my grandparents would always make a coconut cake.
Oh man, I love coconut.
I love the flavor of coconut. I absolutely hate the texture of coconut. I like the little shavings of it, like on that.
Yeah.
And so I love the taste of coconut, but I'm not that is one of the textural things for me. So
okay. All right. I'm sorry about that.
Yeah.
You're really missing out.
I know it.
You're missing out on a good coconut cream pie also. Delish. Also, so many good things.
If they can use just the coconut cream or whatever, I'll eat it, but not if they sprinkle the little
shavings on it.
The shavings on it. Yeah.
It looks like little clipped toenails from a baby.
That's another pet peeve of mine. Toenails and fingernails.
Oh gosh, we're getting to all your things that make you weirded out. All right.
My real quirks.
Yeah. Shake it out. Shake it off, Billy. Shake it off.
Shake it off.
Well, let's move on from food to something that I think is a really big part of Thanksgiving, and that's traditions.
That's right.
Lots of different traditions. And before Billy and I get into some of our traditions, I looked up some funny traditions that other people do. So I found a whole thread on Reddit all about it. So I'm going to share a few, if that's okay with you, Billy.
Come on. No, it's terrible. That's a terrible idea. Go. Come on with it.
This first one I actually love because I love these shows. So the first person says we do the Snoopy Thanksgiving. And we've all seen the Snoopy Thanksgiving special, Charlie Brown, right? I watched
that last night, actually.
Okay, so do Snoopy Thanksgiving the night before. And for a late snack, they serve everything on the show. They have jelly beans, pretzels, popcorn, and toast that they sit down and eat all those snacks with while they watch the show. Do you do that too? Do you do all the snacks?
No, we don't do the snacks, but that's not a bad tradition. I think the girls might actually like that. That's a really...
I know, right?
I might adopt that. We might do that this year. You know what?
Well, heck, we might do that this weekend.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm doing it tonight.
That's right.
I'm leaving the podcast.
Yeah, I'm going to the store right now. Yeah. Charlie Brown.
Yeah. I thought that was a real fun one. Now, this other one, Yeah, you should try. Seriously, I thought that was a brilliant idea, and there was actually a lot of people below who said they do the same things. Maybe not all the foods, but jelly beans at least, or some
Yeah.
popcorn or something, which is totally fun. And we are a big fan of the Charlie Brown whatevers, right?
Yeah,
The
absolutely.
Christmas, Halloween, Thanksgiving, Easter, and then I think they have one for Flag Day or something. I don't know, but we love
Right.
them all.
Yeah.
We love them all. This next one was we spank the turkey. All right, so hear me out. They spank the turkey. Okay. So
Okay.
in 2008, my husband did it for the first time. I believe he was just trying to distribute the marinade that he injected.
Okay.
But
Sure.
we live in Florida. It was a sunny day. Our mood was festive. Music was blasting. We laughed when he did it. So we all took a turn. So we all line up, all my 4 sons, and we all spank the turkey. And we've done it every year since. But here's the sad thing. Her husband died in
Oh,
2011,
no.
and they still do it in remembrance of him. And
Well,
so
that's special. That's fine.
it is. And his name was Tony. And she says there's so many people who, which I think is really funny, who reach out to her with a picture and say, we spanked the turkey in Tony's memory today. I think maybe Tony wanted a better legacy than that, but they're spanking the turkey. And I hope they're washing their hands after that too.
I'm telling you, that's what I was worried about. It was like the E. coli spread and just all this other stuff. Like, wash your hands good, please.
All right, I got two more quick ones.
Come on.
Another one of those, they have the annual Thanksgiving pie in the face. So
Yes.
they will draw straws or cards, and all of who want to participate, people have a choice, but you can't ever be a thrower unless you have a chance of being hit. So one pulls, that's a thrower. One pulls, that's a receiver. So they said they make a simple whipped cream in a tin pie plate.
Okay.
Someone gets hit right in the face, and they have an amazing time doing that.
Hey, that sounds fun.
It does sound fun. It sounds like a lot of cleanup. Like it's picture my face being all sticky and gross.
Yeah, we'll have to go outside.
Yeah. And, you know, I'm not having everybody stop up in my shower and get cleaned off either. So,
oh yeah.
Then this last one, this sounds like a family who harassed their mother, but kind of made it tradition. And it said, 1 year I was trying to get dinner done fast and the oven was too hot. I put some of those brown and serve rolls in. You talked about before, the brown and serve ones.
Yep.
And by the time I pulled them out, the bottoms were totally black and burnt. So my kids started calling them black and serve rolls instead of brown and serve rolls because they were always burnt. And now they insist on having them served that way every year since then. It's been going on for about 20 years.
Oh, why?
I don't know. It's funny what makes a tradition though, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Weird things like that. There was a bunch. So these just made me laugh when I was looking at them. I just remember, I just picture serving burnt biscuits every year.
I know, it's sad. I don't know. Like I want it to be as fine quality biscuits as you can
I'm
have.
with you.
You know what I mean?
My mom is an amazing cook. She has her own recipe book, everything. But she would always burn the rolls, always. So it was like a joke. Every single time, she could not burn the rolls. And
well, it's because the oven's been going, and so it's not. You know, it overheats it and stuff like that. Yeah, and usually those are the last thing that people make, so that they're freshest. And so, that happens a lot. But you know,
it's because they want people to serve those fresh and kind of warm, typically, of the rolls.
And so the oven's like, man, I've been put through it today. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but these aren't going to be brown and served. They're going to be black and served, and you're going to like it, and then you're going to do it for the next 20 years.
Yeah.
Billy, give me some of your traditions for Thanksgiving.
Oh man, we love watching the Macy's Day Parade, but what we also loved was watching the dog show that usually would come afterwards.
Yeah,
and so I don't think they've done that the last couple of years. And so what we have been doing is just watching dog shows on YouTube.
Wait a minute, they stopped doing it?
I think they have, or at least changed it. Like they've moved channels, or I don't know if they lost the rights to the dog show or what. But yeah, we've just been pulling up dog shows on YouTube. Girls don't know any different.
That's one way to do it.
Yeah, but dog shows are awesome. It's just like, it's one of those nostalgic kind of things. Like,
I mean,
parades and
you have to watch the parade. Even as our kids have got older, we still make them watch the parade. That's one of our traditions also, is we get up. What we always make is pancakes and bacon for Thanksgiving morning. We make a ton of bacon, pancakes, even though we know we're going to be eating like slobs in the next couple hours. It doesn't matter. It's the first meal of the day. You got to be fun. But we always sit there and watch Thanksgiving Day parade.
Yes.
Now, as our kids get a little older, they're 23 and 21. Sometimes we start to lose them as the parade goes on and they kind of leave, or they're on their phone the whole time. But the dog thing.
Yeah.
Leslie and I love dogs. She loves that dog show.
The dog show is amazing. Yeah.
So it's usually on in the house as like, because, at that point we've cleaned up that you're starting to prep things for people coming over, starting to get food ready, and or you're getting yourself ready. And the dog show is always on all the time.
It's in the background. Yeah. It's fantastic.
What about for you with breaking the wishbone?
Well, we don't usually have a wishbone because I do the crock pot and I'm the only one that eats the turkey. But growing up, we would. But the big fight was who's the two kids that got to do it. And then you have to remember who did it last year, because it was always like the cousins and everybody comes over. And so there's tons of little kids. And
try being in a family of 7 kids.
That's right. I bet.
Things get a little dicey on who's going to do the wishbone. And then you always have the person who just like tries to overpower it with their wrist.
Yes.
Like you're like, that's illegal. It's a legal break. Let's super glue this and do it again in about 10 minutes. It's almost like you have to have the guy who comes in and who's like the referee for arm wrestling and like put the straps on your wrist so you can only do so much to break the wishbone. But yeah, that was always like a big traditional thing growing up and with our kids. But I don't think sometimes we let it dry out as long as you're supposed to.
Oh yeah,
that's snap it.
And then
it gets a little sinewy and gross if you don't. Yeah. I'm sorry I used the word sinewy. I didn't plan on doing that. What else? What other traditions do you have for Thanksgiving Day?
Cinnamon rolls in the morning. You do pancakes. We do cinnamon rolls. Yep.
Are they homemade or from the store?
No, they're Pillsbury Doughboy. Woohoo!
Oh,
I just poked his belly button there for those on YouTube or
when I laugh
watching on YouTube. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, cinnamon rolls in the morning.
Yeah,
and then football in the evening. Yeah.
All right. Some other things I wrote down was always like the big traditional meal. We get the food.
Yep.
There is not for me because I don't do these ever, but there's a lot of people who likes to take a little post food nap. Just kind of lay there.
Ooh, get that turkey nap going.
Yeah, just let the turkey wash over you and just kind of fall asleep naturally while you're watching football. Football was always a big deal on TV. But also coming from a big family, we also played football. We'd always go out. We had a huge soccer field behind my parents' house. So it was always kind of nice growing up because we had this big, massive field to go play whatever. And we'd always get out there and play Thanksgiving football. And somebody, would be too old and, rip their knee out or pull a hammy or something like that.
Would be me now.
Yeah, exactly. It's never, I wouldn't do it now. It's not worth it. Let somebody else play these games. It's a young man's game or a young lady's game anymore. Do you ever do the thing where you sit around and share what you're thankful for?
We do. We've done that more on with Michelle's family, especially like when her dad comes down as well. Okay. It's not every year that he comes down, but like this year, it's the Iron Bowl here in Tuscaloosa. The Iron Bowl's here in town. There's no hotels, and he doesn't like staying at our house because the guest bedroom's on the second floor. He doesn't like stairs, going up and down stairs, and so there's no, he's not coming. So it is what it is. But yeah, usually when he's here, we do more like what we've been thankful for. That's always a great tradition. It's always nice, and it's always good for the kids too.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. For our family, it's never been a planned thing. It just kind of happens. People sitting around, and then it's always usually my parents would kick it off when I was younger. The older you are, the more sentimental you get. What are you thankful for? And I remember as kids growing up, we're like, all right, I don't want to do this. We have 20,000 people in our family. We're thankful. Can we go watch football? Can we get out of here? But it is something we do with our family too. We want to find out what they're thankful for and make sure they remember why to be thankful. And that's not just about the food, even though it might be. Wink. Yeah, watching football, playing football. What was unique to me as we got older and we got married was now it wasn't just Thanksgiving with your family. Now you got to start splitting families, right?
You got to split it, yeah.
And I know it. Go ahead.
I was just saying, I was used to that growing up because we had, being from a divorced family.
Yeah.
But now you have to split families with her family, and then my family and my family.
Yeah.
So it's a lot.
Yeah, I was gonna say people who are divorced and been going through that for a long time with different families are probably used to that. I never was, so it was a big thing of like all of a sudden like, why aren't we going to my family's? And she'd be like, no, it's my family's turn. And so you just have to get into that rhythm of switch every year,
Yeah.
That was a big deal for us and getting through traditions and learning that new thing. And for years, we always either went to my parents cooked, or my mom, and we'd bring stuff, or it was her parents cooking. But as of lately, we've been doing it. So it's funny when you go from going back and forth and being the one who actually hosts for the first time. It's a different kind of vibe, right?
Yeah,
but a good one. Because there's a lot of families, and maybe you can speak to this too, who always kind of wait until like almost that their family dies off before you start doing something for your own family.
Right. Yeah.
And I didn't want it to be like that. I thought it'd be great when we start our own traditions while our parents are alive. Invite them over. They don't have to cook this year. We'll take care of everything.
Yeah.
And so that was a big thing for us too. Once we started hosting, it's a whole different thing as you get older.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a lot older than you, Billy. So you have lots. You have lots to learn from me. Those are some good traditions. Let's talk about this one here. Funny stories. Do you have any funny Thanksgiving stories for your family? Or
I do. My aunt actually, when I put this post out on Facebook, asking folks for, some funny stories, she shared. My aunt, who lives in Tennessee, shared this. Okay, so just to kind of set them up, my uncle, is he was in a rock band like in the 80s and 90s.
Nice.
So he still has, his hair is down past his shoulders. Excellent guitar player. My aunt is amazing at music. Like she's fantastic. Like, yeah. And she can play so many different instruments, but she plays the bass and stuff like, so he's a, like a rock star, long hair, all this stuff. But she sent me this story. She said, the first time Stephen ever came to Thanksgiving dinner, Punoni, which was my great grandmother. I had Punoni, and then my other great grandmother on my dad's side was Other Noni. So Punoni and Other Noni. So Punoni, that was my grandma's mom. She took sweet potato casserole dish. She took all the sweet potato casserole before Stephen could get a helping, saying, "Oh, you snooze, you lose." This is his first Thanksgiving with a family, by the way.
No, that's a great feeling.
Yes. Yeah. And so he's going for she took it all. And then upon discussing NASCAR, she was dismayed that he liked Dale Earnhardt. And she gave him the bird, my sweet great grandmother, flipped him off at his first Thanksgiving with the family because she was a big Jeff Gordon fan.
Oh, that's a rivalry right there.
Yes. And so that was his first, you're always nervous when you go and do those first.
Oh yeah.
So I can imagine, but yeah, just sweet old lady took all the sweet potato casserole. You snooze, you lose.
Snooze, you lose, and then she flips them off. So she sounds like a lady that I wish I could have met.
Yeah, she was sweet.
Well, I have a story about Thanksgiving at our church with my daughter Lauren. So every Sunday, the Sunday before our actual Thanksgiving, we always would have on Sunday evening a Thanksgiving dinner for the church because my dad's a pastor. And so everybody, would bring everything in the world. It'd always be a big to-do. The way the auditorium was set up is the chairs could be moved. It wasn't like pews. And so they would have tables set up, people would sit in there. And so my dad would go up and do a little speaking thing, but then people would like raise their hand and say what they're thankful for and, what they were going through that year or whatever. Sure. And the kind of seats that they sat on was metal frame, but the seat itself was kind of like a cushioned plastic kind of
I know
setup, if you can picture that. Okay.
Yeah.
And so that year, Leslie wasn't there. She was sick, so she couldn't come. So I was sitting at a table with my brothers and sisters and their siblings and everybody. And Luke and Lauren were at the table. And this poor lady is like pouring her heart out, talking about what kind of year she had and that she's thankful. And she's almost like crying. At that moment, Lauren, God bless her, Lauren rips the loudest fart I have ever heard in my life. Not only so loud right there, but it was so loud because it echoed off that plastic chair in this auditorium. When I say that everybody turned from the church and looked over at our family, is an understatement. Her fart was the fart heard around the world. And the worst thing that happened is everybody at that table, you know, when you're trying not to laugh, but you're laughing so hard, but you know it's inappropriate. Yes. Was everybody at that table? My son Luke, Lauren's laughing, and my dad's looking at me, and I'm like, "You guys, shut up! Stop! Get out of here! Go! Get out of here right now!" And then everybody was, and they just lost it at the table. Everybody, my family just lost it. So my dad's like, "All right, let's acknowledge something happened here, and move on, take a deep breath." And then they still didn't recover from that. But it was Lauren's fart heard around the world. Lauren, I'm sorry if you're listening to this podcast.
Oh my gosh, I bet she's gonna love that story.
That was one of my funniest Thanksgiving stories. I mean, we have other things growing up, but that one, just being out in public and something like that happening, it was like the perfect storm. So good, so funny. Any other funny stories?
You know, just reading on social media, just trying to find awkward stories, and I came across this one story where this cousin just an enhancement surgery for, you know, she had her breasts done. And so
it's okay to say the word breast.
Yes, you could say, yeah. So she had that done. And so the host and the dad of the family, which was, I guess, her uncle, had just asked, "How are you healing?" Like, not like awkward, like, but how you recuperating good, you know?
Yeah.
And she was like, "Yeah." And then just whips them out and says, "They're healing fine." And then everybody's like freaking out at the table. Just all this other stuff.
I don't know why. That seems pretty normal.
Does that? No, I'm not going to show that to my family. Yeah, but there's always awkward stuff like
that. That's really funny. That's a funny one, and very awkward. Yeah. Next thing that goes hand in hand with Thanksgiving is Black Friday shopping.
Yeah, that's right.
Like, that's a big deal. Now let's revisit what Black Friday was back in the day, right? Because everything on Thanksgiving Eve was always closed. Nothing was open, right? Or on Thanksgiving, I mean, the day of Thanksgiving, nothing. Right? Everything was always closed. And the only way you could get the Black Friday deals if you were the person who went out and got in line at a mall like 3 a.m, right?
That's right. You got.
And people used to love to do that. Like, it was like their favorite thing. They'd get some coffee, hot chocolate, whatever, dress in their pajamas, stand out in the line and go shopping all day long, and like knock out everything for the day. Black Friday, right?
Yeah.
And it's a little different now, right? Because now,
absolutely,
with the online shopping of Amazon and every other place, Black Friday deals are available like literally today. Like,
absolutely, it started in the beginning of November. Yeah.
Right. So you can shop then. And typically, well, I think things changed a little bit after COVID in 2020, but people were open on Thanksgiving night. Like, stores were open, and I hated that. I hated that they started doing it, because every year each company got greedier than the year before. But I think they've kind of, at least around here, a lot of people have stepped back from that. Things aren't open on Thanksgiving anymore.
Yeah.
Now they may open like earlier, like at 1 a.m. now after Thanksgiving, instead of like wait until the next morning. But there's that happened. So I was asking Leslie, I'm like, did you have any Black Friday things that you did growing up? Because I know she used to love going Black Friday shopping. And she said that she would always go stay with her grandparents in Florida. And the day after, they always would go out and do their Christmas shopping. So she said at the stores, there was like a Macy's, I'm going to say JCPenney, and some other store, I don't know.
Yeah.
But they all had their own thing. Like, one store, you would go and you'd get a Hershey Kiss, and on the bottom was a dot, and that dot represented what kind of discount you got, the color of the dot. So they'd go through, tear through a bunch of Hershey Kisses, go over there. Next place was a box of Cracker Jacks. And you literally had to rip open the Cracker Jacks to find out what your discount was inside. Or people want straight up cash and gifts and things like that. Okay. Leslie said that store was a disaster. There were Cracker Jacks all over the floor.
That sounds terrible. They didn't think that
boxes. Through. Yeah, exactly. Everywhere. But that was one of their favorite things. And the last store they'd go to is they would pass you out an ornament to you. And on the ornament, there was like some thing that would just show you what kind of discount you got. And so that was like one of her favorite memories is growing up, going down to Florida and going to the store and like digging through the Cracker Jacks and doing all their shopping with the discounts that day, and having a lot of fun with it. Do you have any Black Friday stories or traditions you did with Black Friday?
Traditions, no, we never really did the go out there and get it. I worked retail. I managed a Hibbett Sports, and so the most ridiculous thing was they had us open at 5 a.m. for Black Friday sales, but they didn't give us anything on sale. Like they're like, put balloons on the clearance rack, like, you know. And so people would come in thinking, oh, we're about to hit it big, and they're like, what's on sale? And we're like, nothing really. Why are y'all open? That's a great question. Why did I have to wake up at 4 o'clock this morning to come here to be open? It's just ridiculous. Like, still to this day, just annoys the snot out of me. Like,
they ask for a discount, and all you do is give them a rant.
Yeah, hey, you can go over to this discount, the same prices that it always is, and it will be at 10 o'clock when we're supposed to open. Jeez Louise. But yeah, we would go to Walmart like after the crazy people got in there, and like, you know.
Well, let me stop you right there. Let's talk about how crazy it used to be.
Yes.
Because now stores stagger people in, and they only let certain people in at a time, and everything's blocked off. But it used to be complete madness,
people get stampeded.
Yeah.
One guy had a heart attack, and they couldn't get to him because everybody was trying to get their TVs and microwaves, and he ended up passing away at the hospital because they couldn't get a paramedic to him in time because people were, you know, it's and then there's all this crazy like fist fights, and you know, you got to get that PlayStation, you know.
Oh yeah. But there were so many people who loved that. Like that was they like being in the madness and like throwing elbows and getting in there and getting that first deal and being the person like hauling that TV over your head. Doesn't matter who gets in your way, or if you got to punch them.
Yeah,
you got to have it.
I have friends that would map out their whole morning. Like, okay, we're gonna hit this at this time. We're gonna leave, and we're gonna hit this store at this time. Like they had like that was. I mean, it was the thrill of the adventure. But then some people just take it to a whole nother level. So.
Yeah, I remember after dinner we would sit there and look through the big ads because it was always like the newspaper that had like, and it was people would map it out. That was never for me growing up, or even like as a real young adult. But there were some people so I got excited for people who were excited about it, right? They mapping everything out, looking at all the deals, and having fun with the newspapers and things like that. But like there was one time as a parent, and I went and waited in line. I got there, God knows what time, but I was able to wait inside. And it was back in the electronics section by the kids stuff. And I was buying some, I forget what it was, some electronic device. This is before like iPads and stuff that kids could hold in the car and play. I think there was some little disc you could put in and watch, or I don't know. I don't have no idea. Well, I waited in line. I was like the second person in line. They had a lot of them. And all of a sudden, like at 6 o'clock, what they did is they just let anybody walk in the store, cut in front of everybody in line, and I got nothing. I didn't get the toy thing I was waiting for. I was so flipping mad.
Oh yeah.
I was like, what the? It wasn't just me. Like we were like, why did you just let all these people just come in and get the stuff? We've been standing here for hours.
Yeah.
So I was determined. Lauren was really little at that age. She was probably like 2 or 3. And I was like, I'm not leaving the store without something. So I came in the door. Leslie's like, what the heck is that? I told her the story. I'm like, I wasn't being screwed. I was leaving the store with something. So I came home with a Dora bed, Dora the Explorer, this little tiny pink bed that Lauren was going to sleep in. I'm like, I got something. I could not stand in line, be completely defeated. Didn't get the toy or what I was waiting for my kids. But I got a Dora the Explorer bed, and she loved it and slept in it for a lot of years. So who's the real winner?
Yeah, that's right. Hey, I'm glad you got
me and
some
Dora
use out of it. That's right. Dora the Explorer. Sorry.
No, sing it. So I like how things have changed though over the years for Black Friday. You really can shop from your house. A lot of people don't even go to the malls anymore, and do all the things.
Yeah, our mall's on its last leg here. It's
It has a Kohl's and like one Annie Ann's pretzels left. That's all they have.
Exactly. It's kind of like, oh, this store's closing this week. Yep. It's not gonna be long.
That's sad. We do have one mall around us. It's in a pretty affluent area, but it thrives. And it's the only one that's really around us that has all the stuff. But yeah, Black Friday, it's fun for people. They like to do it, and again, that goes back to traditions. There's so many mothers and daughters who have done that for years.
Exactly.
And then daughters grow up and they do that with their kids, and I think that's great.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then the other thing that happens right after like Thanksgiving, and it's controversial for a lot of people, and this is setting up Christmas, right?
That's right.
So let's talk about it. Are you allowed to set up before Christmas? Do you have to wait till like the day after and set up?
Before Thanksgiving? Yeah.
Yeah, the day after Thanksgiving, I'm sorry. And then set up or whatever. So where do you stand on that? We kind of talked about this a little bit on I think our first episode. You brought it up briefly. Where do you guys stand on the whole setting up for Christmas?
Well, our house is completely Christmasified as it is, and we haven't got to Turkey Day. Thanksgiving's like the middle child from Halloween and Christmas.
Got it. That's a good way to put it.
It gets overlooked. Chloe, my oldest daughter, was ready to decorate for Christmas before Halloween even started. And I'm like, no, that's too soon. Let's wait till the first weekend in November. That's what we did. And let me tell you, we went to Hobby Lobby that day, like the first Saturday after Halloween. And that place was a madhouse with everybody. I guess that's kind of like the day that everybody's getting ready to put out their new Christmas decorations. But yeah, our Christmas tree is up and sparkly, and we have all our Disney ornaments and all that good stuff. So,
well, if it was up to me, as I started getting older and our kids started getting older, then I wanted to set it up earlier. Let me go back in time here. It was always tradition for us day after Thanksgiving. Mm-hmm. That was the day. That was our Friday. We'd get the tree up. We'd do it together, decorate the tree, all those decorations and stuff like that. So our kids are so dead set on it. They won't let me. That sounds like I can't do anything, but they won't let me set up early. Sure. Like I tried to ask. I'm like, let's just do it early this year. Then we can enjoy the tree longer. But on the flip side, we enjoy it so long that we leave it up past February sometimes.
I got to put it up the tree.
Taking down the tree is always so much easier.
You could just be like some people and just buy different ornaments that represent different holidays and just be your holiday of the year tree. Just switch it out. Just leave the tree up all year. Just switch out the decorations.
There are people who do that. So
yeah, absolutely.
And you know what? I'm always amazed by the people who set up like 10 trees in their house. They're like, well, I've got the Snoopy tree, and then this next one is the Christmas tree, and they're like, it takes me like 5 weeks to set up for Christmas. That gives me a lot of anxiety. One tree is enough for me. For me. I've had so many rough times with Christmas lights where I set up the entire thing and realized I did it backwards, and I end up with the butt of the thing instead of the plug part.
No.
And I was like, oh my God, I've been out here freezing my butt off for hours, and I set this up flipping backwards. I had to redo it again. One of my greatest memories was I was setting up the lights outside on a Saturday, and Luke was in like high school, I think, and Buddy was over, and they were watching a particular football game, and they came out. They were so excited to tell me how Auburn returned a kick. All the way back from the end zone and ran it back and beat Alabama. And it was one of the greatest plays I've ever seen. Terrible. And I was so happy that Alabama lost. It made my day. Even though it was cold, it warmed my heart. I had to bring that up for you, Billy.
Can I just say how thankful that CBS lost the SEC contract and it's now with ABC, so I don't have to hear Gary Danielson and Vern Lindquist replay that 50 million times every chance. Oh my gosh. Yeah, horrible.
I knew you'd love that, being an Alabama fan.
That was a heartbreaking. But we got them back last year.
You got them. You showed them.
Yeah, we did.
No, but the Christmas lights have been a tradition. Like, it started out kind of small, and now I have inflatables and stuff in the front yard also we put up. But what I always did with the kids when it was done with the lights, because I never let them come out and see it. It had to be the surprise. Dad's out there for 8 hours. This is going to be a big reveal. Yep. So I'd always have them come out, like the light. Everything was dark outside. I'd turn the light off in the garage, and we'd all hold hands and I'd walk them out to the street. And then I turn them on. I'm like, there you go.
Forest.
And then the Grinch would come in and steal everything the next day, and I cry. But then I turn the lights on or whatever. That was always the big reveal. And then they're like, "Those are so great. Can we go back inside now?" I'm like, "Won't you just? Do you not like the? Can you? That's okay. I'll just stay out here for a couple minutes. Just take a moment of silence."
Yeah.
And then repent to God for all the cuss words I gave during that time of me setting up the lights and struggling.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, that's just all part of setting up for Christmas. So we want to hear from you guys. Where are you at on the setting up for Christmas? Do you do it early? Do you do it whenever you want? Do you have it up all year? Are you very strict? Is it right after Thanksgiving? We want to kind of hear what you guys do with your family, right, Billy?
That's right. Yeah, we would love to. Just let us know on Facebook or on social media. We got Instagram. Hey, come on over there.
It's nice and warm.
X.
Dive in.
Yeah. YouTube. You can see this whole beautiful presentation on YouTube. Just let us know.
I know. Yeah, and if you haven't watched us on YouTube yet, you got to come check it out. I mean, it's a lot more fun. You're going to see all the fun, antics we get into and certain things we do just for YouTube only.
You could have seen my face drop when he went over the kick six. Like I just felt my soul just.
It did
when I realized what you were talking about.
Yeah, the soul kind of just left his body real quick, and he was just gone. But it doesn't end there for this episode. We covered a lot of Thanksgiving, and we talked about food. As you saw that we probably didn't discuss like which food's better than the other food, right? You might have been waiting for that conversation. Well, Billy, tell them what we have coming up next.
So we're going to have a exclusive YouTube mini-sode where we're going to go through the best Thanksgiving sides competition, going head-to-head bracket style.
November Madness is what Billy called it.
Madness.
And we're about ready to get into that madness.
It's going to be delicious, y'all.
It's going to be amazing. So if you want to see what we come down in our bracket to the number one sides of all time for Thanksgiving, check out our YouTube exclusive. Billy will put it up on the socials when it's ready to go, and you don't want to miss it. But for you guys who tuned in today and listened, we appreciate you guys so much. And in the season of Thanksgiving, we are so thankful for you for just listening and letting us have some fun with this.
Absolutely.
So with that, thank you for joining us for another amazing episode of All the Everything Podcast. We can't wait to be with you again next week. I hope you guys have a great day and a happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving, y'all.